Hello, loves. How are you? My name is Josie. If you're new to my channel, welcome to. Gosh, I forgot the name. Look, we here. Welcome to 50 Essentials. How? How? Right? Okay. This is an update video because I know I've been disappeared for a little while. Um, I had a lot. April has been condensed. Okay. I also wanted to come on here and show y'all my hair because for the first time I figured out how to curl it. I used pipe cleaners to curl my hair. You can look that up on YouTube, the whole tutorial, but I had 60 pipe cleaners to get these curls that I got. I'm just telling you. Because I don't have skinny, small locks. They kind of big. So I was like, well, how do I get curls that are not so loose that they're just going to fall right away? And pipe cleaners is the answer. So, yeah, that happened. Um, I left them in for a couple of days after I washed my hair. And then I took them down today. There's so much. There's just so much. I'm just like, man, I don't know. Hey, Lexi. Um, like, I want to tell y'all, congratulations. You have made it to the end of April, right? And I'm looking. Yeah, I got to check the dates. I don't even know how many days are in April. If it goes to 30 or 31. I think May 1st is Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So, thank you, love. Um, I've been working in the yard. My ankles are all bit up. I put that as the little thumbnail so where y'all can see my progress. I got the shades up this year so that my peppers are not mean and decide they want to depart from me early. That spot gets 12 hours of sun, so I had to do something this time. So I am back at it. I took a break and I'm back at, gardening and sustainability and all that jazz. I start at the Portal here in Jacksonville. It's a place called the Portal. And it's owned by the same people who own Midnight Sun, which is like a crystal shop, but they also sell a whole bunch of other stuff from all around the world. Like, it's a metaphysical shop. Well, it's a separate building down the street called the Portal, where there's rooms that we can rent, right? And then there's also space to do classes, space to do readings. Like, it's literally a healing portal space. And there's a few of us there that have rooms, and then there's lots of people who host events there. And I'm super excited to start with them on May 3rd. So I've been trying to get my life together with the Mind Body software. So if you visited my link tree at any point in the last month, you see that the link to schedule any services with me has changed because I am now with Mind Body and ClassPass. That by itself is a lot. Okay. I literally have to have 2 Zoom calls a week because I'm fast tracking this launch with the people from Mind Body to learn how their software works, because I have to have my intake forms for the massage therapy part and all that jazz. So it's been a very wild ride, okay? Because in the middle of all of that, my teenager is going through things, people are having meltdowns. I'm trying to be invisible and, keep my head down and get things done. I'm surprised I didn't lose my own mind. I'm just saying. Oh yes, I admire that. Considering we've both we've been through the entire washing machine and yeah, right on time for tourist season. Exactly, because it's about that time for pampering all the tourist stuff. Okay, all of the tourist stuff. It's about somebody's asking me a question. Okay, so check this out. I got man, I'm telling y'all, I ain't had it together. I have not had it together at all. So if this thing pauses, just know that I didn't go nowhere because I gotta answer this person. Um, I'm getting a bucket system up front for all of my herbs that I'm growing. So I'm gonna take them out of their pots and they're gonna go in buckets up front so they can also be on a timer to be watered because that's what killed me before, the watering. Do 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 do. Oh, okay, okay. I'm waiting on a picture. But anyway, yeah, self-watering system, buckets for all the herbs and things like that. And I'm definitely getting a how do you say it? A, a proper um, a proper herb dryer. What do you call what do you call the thing you dry herbs in? I'm just getting the right thing so that I don't have leaves laying all over my dining room like I did before. Like it was a hot mess last time. I'm better prepared this year. But I'm telling y'all, like um the bottom two. Okay, that's the answer. Yep. So the person that is making the bucket system for me needed to know how tall I wanted it. Um, but I'm not even getting it till June. See, this is how I have to operate, y'all. Like, I need to know now how much it costs so that by the time June comes, or even before that, if the opportunity presents itself, it just helps me manifest when I know um, how much something costs ahead of time, especially if somebody's making it by hand, because it's less likely to change in price. So I can plan. I can plan for that in the middle of doing Russian roulette with everything else, okay? Because it was real. Like, I think I'm an expert at moving money and energy at this point. Because, I mean, if April didn't do anything, it showed you how powerful you are, how skilled you are. Because I know you had to get through some things. I know you had to pull off some things in April. Like, you literally had to. You didn't even have a choice. You showed yourself just how amazing you are in April, or you completely gave up. Like, there was no option in between boss up or give up. Okay, April did that, right? It just did that. Where's my I don't even know, somewhere. Anyway, it was tough. Okay? Like I April has been it's lit I feel like I felt when I went to basic training. You get there, you're like, whoa, what did I sign up for? You're scared to death. You're not doing anything right. You look like a chicken with its head cut off. But by the time you graduate, you appreciate your drill sergeants. You appreciate like everything. And you feel empowered, and you feel like something. You feel like you accomplished something. You got more courage. Like, this is how I feel coming into May, because I cannot believe what I just did under pressure. I cannot believe what I accomplished when I know so many people would have been like, oh no, 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 just no. Not with the solar eclipse and the full moon and the retrograde. There are some people out there that did not even bother because they felt like the energy was stacked against them. But that energy, even though it was really thick, it was riddled with opportunity. All you had to do was be patient enough to try again. And then you also had to be wild enough in your mind to ask questions about things that people would normally say, oh, you can't do that. How do you know? You didn't ask. So you were the one that asked. And somehow you were able to do what most people generally think you couldn't do. I had that happen a couple of times where I had to show my kids, how are you just going to assume you can't do something? Jaden, I found out he can have an LLC, but he assumed he couldn't because he's not 18. Well, look it up, research, and bam. Yeah, you don't have to be 18 to have an LLC in Florida. So, but it's just, I don't know. It feels some kind of way being on this end, like in the aftermath, that looking at everything and debriefing. It feels different. In the midst of all of the chaos, I took the opportunities that felt good to me. I'm super excited about working at the portal because I get to do all of the things. I get to do massage, energy healing, the guided meditations, the Qigong classes. I get to do all of it. And that was the problem. My friend kept trying to get me to sublease at a place where I would have been just locked in doing massage. But the people there are great. The energy there is great. They got all kind of amethyst cathedrals everywhere. It's just awesome. It's a very healing space. What else was I going to say? I finally decided, and I'm sitting on a exercise ball, y'all, so forgive me for bouncing if it's annoying you. What was I going to say? I didn't find something. What? Like, there's a lot, and it's not in any order, y'all. I talked about the portal, but there's something else. Start there in May. Oh, the Patreon. I have been doing the energy check-ins on Patreon. That first tier, that $3 tier, is just energy check-ins and energy tools, which basically includes Qigong classes through Zoom. But I created the second tier finally yesterday, I think it was, where I'm actually doing readings, because y'all know I'm selective about the whole reading situation. I will be doing live events via Zoom where I'm doing readings and actually answering questions, not just general readings for that tier. And they'll also get the benefits of the first tier as well. So they'll be getting the readings, the Vedic astrology, and the energy stuff as well, as far as that second tier is concerned. I'm going to be doing live reading events and then the live Vedic astrology class like I was doing with the other group that I dismantled. Because they really like that. The walkthrough, the setting them up with the Cosmic Insights app, and then of course leaving with them with the 2 videos that I already have posted on this channel, as far as how to navigate your chart and then how to search your chart. So yeah, I've got all that going on inside of Patreon as well. So yeah, I'm in a new place. I'm working in a new space, but I'm also still going to be able to do all that I need to do from with Patreon, because I've simplified a lot of stuff and I don't have to really worry about heavily advertising for that space, because I went through Mind Body and their network and ClassPass. So I will be pulling from them because I'm not trying to bring too much on myself. But other than that, we can get to the fun part. I had a dream recently where I ended up having to talk to a couple of my friends about it, and it reminded me of about I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe around the 19th. Um, I did an energy check in on Patreon about the extraterrestrial energy that was going to be very obvious and very potent. And when I had that dream and I contacted one of my friends here that owns a space where they do meditations, Reiki, and stuff like that, she said, "Oh, that reminds me of the I don't know if it was a secret group. I'm not sure what she was up to, but I'm just now finding out about it. Um, but they were following David Greer's whatever he's got going on with the C5 stuff, and it's just mainly extraterrestrial stuff that they've been doing. And I come to her with this dream, and it's a synchronistic moment because they hadn't met in a while. So I told her, I said, I just did that energy update about the ETs, and now you're bringing that up with the dream that I just told you that happened with me. She was in my dream. And then I told her, I said, I'm not the only one. Like this week coming up, because today's Monday, more people are going to contact her because I think she's being pushed back into being more active in that particular group with the extraterrestrial energy. And the other friend that I told, she's got beings that are just kind of there, new beings that weren't in her awareness before, but they're just kind of there. And I had a whole conversation with her about the communication part, because I had to explain to her, not all beings, whether they be extraterrestrial, interdimensional, they don't all know how to speak in the human language that we speak in. And instead of being frustrated and using telepathy or anything that says, I'm speaking a human language, sometimes you got to feel. Sometimes you've got to just sit with the energy and just give this feeling like, okay, it's fine that you're here, because beings will not interact with you unless they feel like you are not afraid. And if you've already checked the energy and it doesn't feel threatening, but you are not having any luck communicating with your human language, then you should try to communicate in a different way, which is just energetic. And what you will find is that you'll start to get thoughts or pictures in your clairvoyance, or one of your clairs will start going off, because what you needed to do was simply receive the transmission instead of trying to send and then get something back and have a two-way exchange. So if you're wondering why you're being stalked by a being that you've never seen before and you don't know how to talk to them, you've got to show them how to communicate with you, and then sometimes they've got to show you how to communicate with them. So you just got to play around with it and tweak it and figure out what works. Okay? It's not always, oh, let's do some telepathy, or let me talk to you with, my throat chakra. No. Sometimes it's, you just got to feel, and you just got to sit with it and be okay with the presence, and then things will start happening there. So that part. There's a lot of extraterrestrial energy right now. And another thing I was telling her is like, because I do work with the angelic realm often. However, for me, because I can only speak for myself, the ET energy the interdimensional energy, because again, there's some beings that travel interdimensionally, literally, like their reality is parallel to this one and they're just shifting in and out. And there's some that actually physically come here from another physical space, right? That's a whole bunch of science. Anyway, um, with those beings, I told her, I said, another way you know you're dealing with that kind of energy is because they will bring whole realities to you. Um, it's not the fact that you're moving. You're not going somewhere. You did not pop into another existence. Like when you have an experience with them or whenever they're around, you may feel like you went somewhere. Your whole scenery may change. You may feel like you don't know where you are. But what happened was they brought it to you. Some beings do not exist as a being just by itself. They're a whole reality. Okay? This is just from my experience. It's not just that being. It's a whole reality speaking to you, and it had to make a little something to make you comfortable, to interact with something. But this is why you're getting the rest of that. It came to you from somewhere else. You didn't necessarily travel, okay? And I know that my people who astral travel and bilocate, they know the difference that I'm talking about. Hello, ma'am. You like my curlies? I can't believe I had the energy to even bother doing that. But yeah. So that's another like hallmark of ET energy. It tends to bring I'm gonna say galactic energy instead. It tends to bring realities, whole realities to you, and it can make you feel like you've gone somewhere, but you haven't. That's all. They like to use overlays a lot, if you know what an overlay is. And even in your dreams, sometimes, like let's say if you went on a ship, what they'll do is they'll use an overlay, and it's basically like a fake scenario, a fake dream, so that you won't be traumatized by whatever happened on the ship. Because no matter how gentle and nice beings try to be, they still are not human. They are not you. They don't think the same. Some of them don't even have feelings, and they just try to do their best not to freak you out whenever they're trying to help you. So there are certain things that they do not want you to witness, because you witnessing that would be bad. So you get an overlay instead, a dream of whatever. But the way that you know that happened is when you wake up and you're like, nah, I mean, I know that I had that dream, but there was something else going on. Like, Thank you, boo. Oh, awesome. But yeah, major extraterrestrial energy happening, y'all. Major. And I feel like, what was I telling her? I said, the way that I feel about it is we've been chugging along with this particular process, that this energy wasn't really necessarily needed for that process. And then at some point there was a realization that that process wasn't necessarily the best way or the most efficient way. So now this new energy, which is not new energy, but it still seems a little foreign and it takes a moment to get used to. Now this energy is coming in and it's saying, hey, I'm here. It's not like when someone walks into a building and walks through a door and they're like, hey, everybody, from a distance. No, it's like if somebody walks straight up to you and they were right here in your face, and they're like, hey, I'm here, pay attention to me. That's how the energy is for a lot of people right now. It's like you've been asking for this interaction, this exchange, these moments, these experiences, and now they're really loud and really obvious. And again, it's not what you're used to. So it just takes a moment to get acquainted. Um, Especially because these higher vibrations don't really know how to interact at such lower vibrations. So then you've got to just be the receiver. You know, that's why you got to check the energy at the door. How does it feel? Does it feel threatening? Because if it doesn't feel threatening, you're going to have to trust yourself, the source within yourself, enough to receive, because that being wouldn't be there if it didn't need to be there, if it wasn't necessary. So if you can't talk like you usually do, then just receive, right? We're in it. We get to see every intricate detail of it. You know, it is in progress, and it's it's quite interesting. You know, we have our moments where we're like, why do I have to keep up appearances? Why do I have to feel like this and be going through all of these physical changes with my body and still maintain responsibilities and all this and that? And I'm telling you, April was a gift, because I realized so much in April. I realized that choices are so powerful. Like, it became a realization more than a practice, more than a knowing. It literally became a deep understanding. That thing, that event, whatever it is that you're waiting for, you gotta stop waiting for it, because it's literally in progress, right? And I feel like what we are supposed to be doing right now, if you want to say it that way, or what you could be doing right now. Exactly, April showers bring May flowers, right? What you could be doing right now is stepping up to the challenge, because I feel like that's what it is. It's a challenge. There are different challenges, and every challenge that you step up to, it's not about getting the task done. It's not about getting past it. It's not about returning to normalcy or anything like that. Every challenge that you step up to has a gift within it. You are changed every time you step up to a challenge, and you learn more about yourself, and it reinforces your whole self and your confidence and your will. It just, you reinforce yourself when you step up to challenges, just like a plant that's growing, like my little okra plants out there. They're getting whipped around in the wind, but as that happens, their stalks are getting stronger and stronger, just like a baby tree. And instead of thinking, but I don't feel like it, but why does it have to be this way? When I know that it could be easier, I know that I could skip some steps. If you skip the steps, you will be missing. Hare Krishna, love. You will be missing so much enrichment, so much fortification, so much higher divine love, higher divine experiences. I figured out, for me, especially as a mystic, sometimes you got to go deep and you got to go hard in order to feel. Okay? Yeah, we feel on a daily basis. We got emotions and all this and that. We got tactical feeling. But when you go deep and you go hard, especially if you didn't even plan on it and it just happens and you just got to because you're in it, you have the most profound experiences. And so many beings in the known universe wish they could have that, you know? They wish they could feel on that level. There's very high joyous feelings and very low miserable sad feelings, but they're all very rare in the grand scheme of things. Like, you get to feel that, and then you get to feel what it feels like when you don't feel that anymore. Because I know you know how it feels when you've been really horribly sad, mad, angry, and then how it feels right after when you're no longer mad, sad, angry. Like, just that contrast, just whatever it is in the middle of that is, all of it is amazing. You know? And you get to feel these things, these deep and expansive and very big feelings whenever you want. And then sometimes you get to feel them whether you planned on it or not, because it's simply your response, right, to whatever may be going on. But because emotions are energy in motion, it's all a part of your manifestation process. Sometimes you had to get real mad in order to become the CEO of a business. You know, sometimes you had to feel abandoned in order to not abandon yourself, in order to take responsibility for yourself. You know, like I always tell y'all, the universe operates out of necessity. Whatever it takes for you to be what you're going to be, because you're in progress all the time. There's no end game, right? You could decide that you're a goddess today, but there's something more. You could be you could be a goddess, dragon, unicorn, fairy, you know? Like, there is more. I'm just saying. You know, there's just always more. And it's not always in the it's not always in the form of quantity. Sometimes that more is in the form of quality. Sometimes that more is a refined state, more refined than it was before. You know, coarse ground, fine ground. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what it is that you're actively participating in and expressing at the time. What's needed, you know? And, you know, like I said, it's not an end, because believe me, some of us have been vegan and then we started eating meat again. And some of us, it's what's necessary at the time. Sometimes it's necessary to be what you would perceive to be lesser, right? Than the greatness that you just got through expressing. Sometimes it's necessary to fall back, to be small, right? And it's not because you are going against your energy. It's because you're wise, and you being small in that moment does not mean that you are small. It's a way of expressing yourself, and it's a choice, and it's a powerful choice. The choice to not say anything is a powerful choice. The choice to not do something, you know, is a powerful choice as well. It's not I'm not speaking of anybody who's operating out of cowardice or anything like that. There are times where you need to have the humility, the compassion to be lesser. And what's amazing is you have the ability to do that. You have the ability to shrink and expand. It's awesome. You literally have the ability to literally like change in so many ways, just as energy is constantly changing and never destroyed. Like you can do that in this physical body, and it's amazing. um but you have to see it as that, because our perception can be jacked. We can choose, which is a very powerful choice, to be miserable, and we will be all up in that misery, and it'll be strongly felt, and it'll be a whole experience until you've chosen to get out of it. And then you decide, oh, well, now it's time for me to be happy. As long as you continue to own your choices and own your expression, there's only a certain level of judgment that can even be in those scenarios. um it's when you don't own it. It's when you're hiding from yourself, hiding from others, hiding from situations. um that's when you've given your power away, and you're just flapping around as a victim to all of the things happening around you. But if you need to do that for a little while, then that's what needs to happen. Because at some point, you're going to decide, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And if you can just see it as that simple, I know it doesn't happen that quickly in real time. You could be depressed for like 6 years before you decide, okay, I don't want to be depressed anymore. But the power is you. It's not all of those people that tried to get you out of depression. You had the ultimate decision the whole time. And your soul apparently needed to go through that for that time period for you to compound that energy and make something of it. Alchemy is legit. Sometimes it takes a certain amount of energy for a certain outcome. Okay? It's the difference between making 6 cookies compared to making 18 cookies. You're going to need more of the ingredients. So if you're wondering why sometimes you seem to be in situations longer than you feel like you should, it needed to be enough for your next journey, your next expression. Because I'm telling you, when you expand from being small, you tend to expand bigger than you've ever expanded previously. And it's awesome. That's how you pull back to go forward, and sometimes you got to pull back further to go forward farther. um I don't even know how I ended up talking about any of this stuff, but hey, we here. This is what happens. I came here to update y'all. So, but yeah, that's what I got about that. I was gone. I'm back now. ET energy, galactic energy is potent right now, y'all. And it's a little different than a lot of people are used to. That's all. Oh man, that was interesting. My fingertips are cold. I'm sitting here like, yeah. But yeah, definitely check out my link tree. It's in the description of this video. So you can find my Patreon. We got free members. We've got members in the first tier. I just created the second tier. So if you want readings, that's where you're going to get them, in that second tier of the Patreon. And I will be doing those Zooms to where you can ask whatever question that you want to ask. It's not general. I'm going to answer your question in those readings for that, for the Zooms that I have scheduled in Patreon. But other than that, I'm really, I know I'm forgetting something, but hey, it's been like that this whole month. It's okay. I'll bring it up later. Now is apparently not the time. But angel number 33 is prevalent. So that's for somebody. And What else? Yeah, y'all just, you know what, I'm gonna let y'all go. Have a beautiful day. I might take a nap. I'm not sure because I should have been asleep. I keep doing stuff and I'm just flowing with the energy. Have a beautiful day, night, evening, loves, wherever you are. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.